Hi there. Welcome to Mental Health Monday. I'm Dr. Sabrina Black, and this is Grief Part 2. There was so much to say about grief that I just couldn't say it all. And you got to know I was also getting overwhelmed trying to say it all. But when you finish watching this, I want you to make sure that you scroll back through and find Part 1 and watch that as well. I did want to come back on, though, and give you a few tips and techniques on what to do when you're going through. Because we're all going through grief and loss right now. We're all dealing with some type of loss. And so I know that grief and loss can be challenging. So how do we manage? I mean, what can we do? Because at times like this, it is normal to feel confused, to feel overwhelmed, to be exhausted, and even be disoriented. You know, grief can sometimes even feel like you're in an alternate reality. I mean, it's like you're standing still or you're in slow motion and everything else is zipping past you really, really fast. But it can also feel like the reverse, like you're racing on the inside and nobody else seems to have a sense of urgency at all. You know, I know some of you may even be smiling and laughing or nodding your head like, yep, I know what you're talking about, because you know what I'm saying is real. You can be full of energy one day and just not able to think about even the simplest of tasks the next day. So how do you cope? Well, there's hope. If you watch the video clip I did on stress from last week's Mental Health Monday, you know that 8 is my number. So I want to give you 8 things that you can do when you're going through grief. So the first thing is get some sleep. Please get some rest. Grief is exhausting. And I can't stress that enough. Grief is exhausting. It's emotionally and physically draining, especially when you have multiple losses and you're constantly hearing news and more news and more news about losses. Take a break, take a nap, take some time out, go to bed at night, even if you are not tired and if you're not sleepy. You got to just get some rest. You got to lay your body down. Even if you just lay there and be still. But rest is important. Number 1, get some rest. Number 2, breathe. I know you think you're breathing already, but you got to take some slow, deep breaths. I mean, breathing is more important than you realize. Well, maybe you've thought about it. Consider the number of people that we are constantly hearing around ventilators or on oxygen. You know that breathing is important. So we can't minimize the importance of breathing. When we are tense and feeling stressed, our breathing tends to be shallow. We are not taking those long, deep breaths that we need to take. And so I want to encourage you to do what I consider a basic 4-7-8. So 4-7-8, let's do that even now. So you want to inhale 4, inhale through your nose, then hold it for 7, then exhale for 8. And when you exhale, you're going to exhale through your mouth, and you can do it loud if you need to. All right, you ready? So let's breathe. Sit up straight. Whew, breathe. We need to breathe, breathe, breathe. So breathe in 4, hold 7, exhale 8. Let's try it again. 4-7-8. Now you can do 8 sets of 4-7-8, but breathing is critical. You gotta breathe. That's how they test to see if you're living. They check to see if you're breathing. So get some rest and breathe. The third thing you need to do is journal. You know, I keep a journal all the time with me. People who know me know that I walk around with these journals. I always got a little notebook somewhere. I'm always got an ink pen in my hand. I'm always writing something down. But journaling is simply jotting it down. What happened? How do you feel about it? What do you think about it? What do you need now? How has your life changed? You know, your journal doesn't have to make sense to anybody, and it does not need to be edited. It is simply your notes to yourself about what's important to you while you're going through. So journal. So you're going to get some rest, you're going to breathe, you're going to journal. Number 4, you're going to make a list. And let me stop right now before you say, oh my God, I can't do all that. Look, I can barely get out of bed. These are things to help you go through. You don't have to do all these right away. And you don't have to do any of these. Do it as it helps. And so making a list sometimes helps because we forget things when we're grieving. I talked about that in part 1, that forgetfulness is part of the grieving process. And there is so much going on inside your mind that there really is just not room to hold it all. So when you write stuff down, when you make a list, you actually free up space in your mind. It's like your computer. Think about when you got your computer and it was brand new. Man, it was zip fast. It could hold everything. Then you started downloading pictures and videos and cool stuff off the internet, and it was packed. And now all of a sudden it's churning and it's slow. That's how the grief process is. Grief puts so much stuff in your mind that there's no room to process all of it. So when you make that list and when you jot things down from your journal, you get stuff out of your head onto paper so you don't have to remember it. I'm going to tell you, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, there were so many deaths that I heard about. I mean, there's like one behind the other, that I didn't even know what day it was. It stayed Wednesday for 3 days. Then it stayed Friday for another 3 days. I had to literally look at my calendar to figure out what day it was. And so I am just thankful that all my client appointments are written down, because if I ever had to remember them those weeks, it would have been in trouble. But I wrote it down. I made a list. I kept a schedule. And that really helps you because it frees up space in your mind and it helps get you through the process. So basic things. And again, we're not talking about stuff that's complicated. It's stuff you should already be doing anyway. But these are things that help get you through. So the last 4 real quick. Eat. You got to eat some food because you need to keep your energy up. Even if you're just nibbling. Nibbling is cool. But try to eat healthy. Don't try to binge on a whole lot of stuff that's going to make you sick, that's going to cause you to be overweight, that's going to cause more grief. But eat food that's going to keep you healthy and give you energy. This is not the time for your body to malfunction. You got enough other stuff going on. So eat food on a regular basis. Then 6, drink a lot of water. You've got to stay hydrated. I can't tell you how important staying hydrated is. I've been in the hospital for dehydration, and it's no joke. You want to stay hydrated. So if you are not the person who carries around the gallon jug, or you're not the person who always drinking 8 glasses of water, just make sure you're drinking plenty of water. One of the things I do is I keep these little bottles on hand, and I am always making sure I got a little bottle. My husband teases me. We got little bottles all over the house, and I drink it cold. I drink it warm temperature. It doesn't matter, but I make sure I get my water in. Here's something else you can consider. Wash your hands and drink water. So as often as you go to wash your hands, drink some water. Wash your hands, drink some water. Or every time you pass a faucet, or every time you pass the refrigerator, drink some water, but stay hydrated. That will help you as you're going through this grieving process. The next thing to do, pray, meditate. I would encourage you, especially if you're a spiritual person, especially if you know the Lord, look up scriptures, verses on peace, verses on joy, verses that says that he will keep you in perfect peace as your mind is stayed on him, verses that tell you that the joy of the Lord is your strength. You want to look up the word of God to help you get through this season and meditate on that word day and night. You want to practice being still in the presence of God, not doing anything, but just being there. And when you're there, you can thank God. Thank God for the time that you had. Thank God for the memories that you hold. Thank God for the days to come. But pray and meditate. And then the last thing, number 8, talk. Get it out. Talk to a friend. Think about the people in your life, the people that are good listeners, the people who don't have to give you a rebuttal for everything you say, the people who aren't always trying to correct how you feel about things, but people who can really listen. And we all got at least one person maybe. And if you don't, that's what I'm here for. But think about people who also bring joy, those people who have a good disposition in life, those people who tend to make you laugh or smile. Think about those people. And those are the people you want to get in touch with in this season. Talk to a friend. You can talk to them about your losses. You can talk to them about things that were important to you, things that you're going to remember, things that you're going to miss. But you can also talk to me. That's what I'm here for. I can walk with you during this season of your life and help provide comfort for you, help provide care for you. But applying these tips will help get you through. It's going to help you in days to come. And so even if you can't see yourself applying any of this right now, or you're thinking, oh, Jesus, that's just too much, save this, download this, and watch it over and over and over again. Share this with your family. Share this with your friends, because they need to know the things that you're practicing. And they may also need to practice them too. All of us are going through. Remember, we all need to practice these tips because they're going to help us make it through this season of grief. But remember, if you need additional support, you can contact me. You can reach me at drsabrinablack.com. Just go to the website and you can reach me there. I'm also listed with Psychology Today if you want to look me up there. But I also want to mention to you that I'm doing a grief group. It's an 8-week group. It's already in process now, but the next group will be starting up at the beginning of May. There's a group on Mondays for adults and a group on Fridays for children. So if you're interested in some group support where you can be with like-minded people who are going through the process of grief and talking about their losses and learning how to overcome and how to deal and how to move on with life, please sign up for the group. That's available for you as well. And that's simply going to the website, and it's ineedgriefcounseling.com. ineedgriefcounseling.com. But I hope these tips are helpful. So remember to go watch part 1 where I talk about grief. This is part 2 where I talk about some of the 8 tips that will help you as you're going through. But again, remember, check in with me on Mental Health Monday. I'm Dr. Sabrina Black. I love you, I care about you, and I'm here for you. Take care.